come with me today as I try something a little bit different, and I take you on a walk and talk with me as I share with you some of the things I've been desperate to share with you for quite a while now, and haven't had the opportunity to do so. Now, before I go any further, I'm sure you're thinking, Lucy, wouldn't this be nicer if you enjoyed this beautiful walk by yourself, not chatting to a phone? Potentially yes, but this is where trying to live life and have a small family and try and blend work and life balance, sometimes I don't get quite right, in the sense that it's really hard to do all of the things. And I feel like I've had so many thoughts going round and round in my head recently. I've been desperate to share them with you. And often things like this, which are sometimes my favourite parts, get deprioritised. Can you just hold on a second? Look at that view. And I can still enjoy the view and I can call this work, which is just so lucky. And I wanted to chat to you about how much the business has changed, but also to take you on the next chapter, which I need you to be part of, for me and for you. I really think it's going to be helpful for you too. And I think there's a saying, isn't there? Something along the lines of, if you knew me 6 months ago, you don't know me at all. I think that's the saying. And essentially that couldn't be truer for me and the business right now. I feel like so much has changed since last September that I'm unrecognizable almost as a person, and as definitely the businesses are. And I feel like I'm always going to love working. Like, I am someone who adores what they do. I'm not someone who's trying to find a quick fix or an easy win and make money without doing the work. Not that I'm against any of that, but I just actually love working with people and supporting people. And that has always been my dream, and I love seeing the results that people get when they work with me. And I think you'll have heard me say this before, I'm sure, that like Lucy Legal as a brand is more than just selling legal templates. It's about creating a ripple effect. And it's one of those things where people have a dream, they want to start a business, but they feel scared and they feel worried about the legal stuff, which is correct. Like, I understand why they do, because if it goes wrong, it's bad news, and it's terrifying to sort of have that over your head. And so by giving people the confidence with all of the legal things, it helps them to go out in the world and create their dream life. And in doing so, essentially, it means that I create a ripple effect because they go out and start their business, they impact other people. It's just an incredible feeling. So I'm very, very lucky to do what I do. And I have worked so hard over the last 6 years, and it's been incredibly rewarding, and I've absolutely adored it. But about a year ago, back in September, I knew that I needed to shift things. I knew that I needed to start running the business more like an actual business instead of me doing all of the things. And there were some problems back in September that I had arrived because I'd been sort of a bit away on maternity leave. I didn't really have much maternity leave, but I hadn't been keeping myself as focused on things. And last September, I really got stuck in and I really made some changes. But what I've realised even since then, and making all these changes, is that it's not sustainable to run the business as I'm doing. It's really hard to constantly be trying to go from zero to my goal figure every month. And I suppose zero isn't fair, but because we do have a bit of recurring revenue, but it's not a lot. And trying to do the maths quickly in my head, it's probably an eighth of a sixth of what we need to have. So there's a lot more that I need to make every single month. And a few months ago, I did start doing a bit of a series where I was saying, come with me as I try and build recurring revenue in the business. And I know that that's important because recurring revenue is freedom. And although I started doing that, I think I did like 2 videos, that was it. I didn't do them at all after that. And I think part of that was because I wasn't focusing on it. I wasn't doing it in my own business. So what I wanted to share with you today is a renewed commitment to working on the recurring revenue streams within the business, because I want to be part of people's lives long term. I don't just want a short hit and sell a template and that's it, never see people again. I want to be part of people's lives. I want Lucy Legal as a brand to take you from the idea of starting your business, supporting you, and then continuing to support you long term. And there are quite a few things that I've got in the pipeline of things that will support doing this, and I'll share those in another video, and like the more about in detail, like behind the business sort of side of creating recurring revenue, because there's a number of different ways to do it. But I just wanted to invite you to come with me on this journey, maybe come again if you were following it before and thinking she's fallen off. And yeah, I did. And I think this is important, isn't it? It's important to share that we don't always just start something and it's a huge success. There's sometimes other things that happen, and I'm going to go into that in another video as well, as like what's been happening and why the recurring revenue didn't become the focus, because I think it's so fascinating to like realize that we all have to pay our bills. Like, it's all really great to say I'm going to grow this part of the business, but you can't necessarily just do a U-turn. You have to keep earning money within the business. So it's been a learning curve, and I'm going to take you along on this journey too. But I just wanted to say, if you're in a period where you feel like things look very different, or you want things to look very different, that's totally possible. I'm excited to share the next chapter with you.